It started with a fence. A simple 6-foot wooden fence I'd put up to keep deer out of my vegetable garden. Nothing fancy, nothing flashy, just functional. But in HOA land, functionality doesn't matter. What matters is aesthetic uniformity, as their rulebook liked to put it. One morning, I stepped outside to admire the neat rows of tomatoes and peppers I'd been nurturing all summer, only to find a neon orange violation notice nailed right to my fence post. Fence must be removed within 10 days. Non-compliant with community standards. Daily fines will apply. I crumpled the notice in my fist. This was the third time this month they'd come after me. First for my garden shed being too rustic, then for the gravel driveway being unapproved. Now my fence? I marched straight to the HOA office. Karen, the president, looked up from her desk with that fake smile that never reached her eyes. "Ah, Mr. Williams. Hear about the fence, I assume. You mean the fence on my property? Outside HOA jurisdiction?" I shot back, slamming the deed on her desk. "This land predates your HOA. I'm exempt. Remember." She gave a little laugh. "Technicalities, technicalities. The board has decided your property affects the neighborhood's appearance. Therefore, it falls under our authority." That's when I knew this wasn't about rules, it was about control. And if Karen wanted a fight, she was going to get one. Instead of taking the fence down, I reinforced it. Stronger posts, sturdier beams, a fresh coat of stain. Then, I installed security cameras pointing right at the boundary line. Sure enough, 3 nights later, motion alerts woke me up. I checked my phone and saw them. Karen and 2 board members creeping around with crowbars, trying to pry down my fence under cover of darkness. I didn't even call the cops. I just flipped on the floodlights and stepped onto the porch with my phone recording. "Smile, you're trespassing," I shouted. They scattered like cockroaches. Karen tripped over her own feet and landed in my garden bed, smashing a row of cucumbers. I couldn't help but laugh as she scrambled up and bolted. The video went straight online. Within hours, the clip was viral in our town's Facebook group. Karen, the self-proclaimed guardian of community standards, caught red-handed committing vandalism. The fallout was brutal. Neighbors who'd quietly hated the HOA but never spoke up finally had proof of their corruption. People stopped paying dues, board members resigned, and a petition to dissolve the HOA started making the rounds. Karen, of course, doubled down. She tried filing a lawsuit against me for defamation, but my lawyer shredded her case in court using the very footage I'd taken. Instead, she was charged with trespassing and vandalism. And it didn't end there. Turns out, the HOA had been using funds for beautification projects that mysteriously never materialized. Thousands of dollars unaccounted for, all traced back to Karen's signature. The county launched an audit. The audit turned into a full investigation. And within months, the HOA wasn't just unpopular, it was officially disbanded. The best part? With the HOA dissolved, all their seized funds went back to homeowners. My refund check alone covered the cost of my fence 3 times over. And Karen? She didn't just lose her position. She lost her house when the bank foreclosed after she was ordered to pay restitution for the stolen funds. The last I heard, she was renting a dingy apartment across town, a far cry from the queen bee life she tried to maintain. Now, when I walk out to my garden, I see more than just vegetables and a wooden fence. I see freedom. My neighbors plant what they want, paint their houses whatever color they please, and live without constant fear of fines. The fence still stands tall, stronger than ever, a symbol of the battle we fought and won. And every time I water my cucumbers, I think back to that night Karen face planted in the dirt. Victory doesn't always come in a courtroom. Sometimes it comes in the form of a simple fence that no bully can tear down.